the complete long game, but like they don't want to win a more accelerated long game.
We see the Drow, man. Another solid hero.
Seconds remaining.
Bad deal.
5 seconds.
I mean, we could just make it softer.
I could make it softer, actually. I've already closed it out.
It's probably for the best. They need to hear our on-point casting.
They're great. Totally standing mics with totally pop filters and not headsets.
I'll get a standing mic.
Yeah, they're just afraid of greedy heroes. Like super greedy, super farm accelerator type heroes. That almost implies they want a carry who is not the best at fighting early, but is going to farm slower than anti-major alchemist. Like for example, Medusa or Spectre. We see the first big Sand King come out for the Instigators. Could be run in off-lane role, could be run in a support role, could be in multiple types of lane configurations.
Very flexible hero. I like it a lot. I hope that they don't plan on just running it off-lane no matter what happens. He's a hero that you can't just run off-lane by himself in a lot of matchups, and if they just choose some ranged heroes to bully him out, he's not going to get anything.
Ooh. We do see a Void Warlock. This is quite typical for the composition team. They do pick up some quite good teamfight heroes. You have the Warlock support with the Chaotic Offering. You have the off-lane Void with the Chronosphere. Quite the potent combo. If you have that Flaming Golem in the Chronosphere, or you get to extend that Chronosphere stun by a full 1 second.
Very strong combo. It's reminiscent to how Kunkka is, or rather used to be. You just kind of pick a support that have to do too much, just kind of lets the lanes work do on their own, and then once they both hit level 6, you just take some fights and win every 2 minutes.
Big difference is Warlock is both a ranged hero and has a heal. So even though you do trade away some kill potential, you get some more defensive options.
You get actual supporting, which is always good, and Fatal Bonds is a skill that cannot be understated. Such a good skill.
Quite
a lot of people underestimate it.
You see Avenge come out from the Dire. I was going to mention which defensive support should they go for. Perhaps Avenge, perhaps a Shadow Demon. They opt for the Avenge instead. Swap, pretty good against Chronosphere. You see your teammate in the Chronosphere, you swap them out. Pretty nice.
Good. I think I would have liked to see a Shadow Demon instead. Fatal Bonds kind of makes it so the Venge swap doesn't do as much as you'd like, especially if it hits on Venge beforehand, and even if it doesn't, you just kind of hit on the other people in the Chronosphere. And the person that got swapped out is still going to take quite a lot of damage.
So we see Lich and Silencer bans come out. Silencer, certainly a good pick at disrupting the sort of I'm going to call it flowchart teamfight ultimates that the Radiant are getting, where they want to do one ability into the next. A Silencer ultimate could certainly globally screw it up big time. While Lich and Ursa bans, Lich securing a lane, not the best hero lane, but does give the experience advantage. And Ursa, pretty tanky, pretty decent laner against Void in many ways.
You can time walk away the damage, but you'll still keep the Fury swipes on you. You really just can't win that lane.
See a Witch Doctor ban come out. I actually like to see a Jakiro from this Radiant team. I think they're going to opt for Mirana, though. They run mid Mirana a good bit. They've run some support Mirana before, so it wouldn't surprise me if they pick Mirana here.
5 seconds remaining.
Otherwise, I don't think they play Oracle. That hero's pretty good here.
I'd like to see an Oracle OD come up.
I think Rubik could have a lot of value as well here. Omni Knight isn't the best, but they can certainly make it work. I think Sven's alright. I mean, you don't always want to land a melee carry versus a Sand King, but overall, Sven's got a pretty good matchup against the Venge and Sand King. We'll find out. We are chipping away at this reserve time, and they go for the Invoker instead. Very good combos with the Chronosphere, and if they pick up another stun Radiant team. They're going to have a lot of possible combos to work with a Sunstrike if the Invoker goes for Quaz Exort.
I like the Invoker pickup. With Faceless Void and Warlock, around level 6, those early crucial moments, like of the game, those are 3-minute, 2-minute cooldowns. Invoker has a much higher uptime during those times, like 45 to like 60 seconds on his cooldowns. So, having someone that can do skills between those 2-minute cooldowns that you have to use for these team fights, that's good.
Pretty sure Nyx is the pick here for this Dire team, but regardless, there's two directions they can take their draft in. They can get a bunch of heroes that can brawl all the time, or they can just get better fight. It looks like they're only for heroes who are better at brawling all the time. I'd like to see them opt for a Huskar here, actually. Get a lot of abilities behind a Huskar, and all its abilities will be on shorter cooldowns than that of the large Radiant teamfight ultimates, and even the Invoker spells.
Zeus.
Tia Zeus come out.
Zeus roaming support?
Likely support Zeus, yeah. It's a fairly weak support duo, actually, but if they manage to not get rolled in the lanes, you get a lot of value out of the Zeus support. The only thing to note is you're going to need a carry with some kind of crowd control, like a Sven or a Chaos Knight, unless you happen to be running the Invoker as a safe laner. Many Chinese teams back in 2014 used to love their Quaz Exort Necrobook Invoker safe lane, so it isn't unheard of. It just isn't really in vogue right now.
I'd like to see the Invoker go safe lane, but it's most likely going to be the Zeus.
I'm sure Huskar is definitely the pick here for this Dire team right now.
The Zeus you have to pick the Huskar now. They have too much magic damage for you.
It was good before Zeus, and then they picked Zeus.
I don't know what else they're thinking of. Maybe a PA is what they're probably thinking.
Right, it's good laning against Invoker in a lot of ways, but I'm not sure if PA is going to be able to deal with the sort of fights that the Radiant team wants. They'll have to double down on pickoffs that I mentioned earlier.
Ooh.
Oh no.
I don't think Spectre's the pick here.
I don't think Spectre's the pick here either.
Their draft's a little split. With the Sand King and the Spectre, like, you have these big team fight ults that you can just use every 2 minutes when they use theirs, and just kind of counter that. Then the Venge and the Dazzle, these are very low cooldown heroes. You have 45 seconds, 40 seconds. You're able to be up all the time, roam around, get kills. Spectre can't do that. Spectre takes a long time to get online.
Spectre could go for like an early fighting items like Phase, Urn, Vanguard into perhaps Diffuse Blade, but I'm still not sure if it's enough to be able to fight. So the last hero from Dire is going to either need to be able to straight up win the lanes overwhelmingly, which I'm not even sure if Huskar can do, or a hero who can enable Spectre to farm, like a Bat Rider or a Magnus or some less resource demanding space creating hero.
I think I'd like a Bat Rider mid.
See a OD banned out from this Radiant team. OD could have worked, but that's certainly too greedy if they go for the OD on this Dire team.
10 seconds remaining.
The only problem with Bat Rider is there's Zeus. And Zeus is going to help combat the vision game, and he'll be able to cancel a blink on the Bat Rider.
Very true.
Reserve time.
What hero do you want to see come out for both teams?
I still like Sven for Radiant. I think CK has a lot of value as well. They think it's an Invoker safe lane or a Warlock core, so they do ban the Crystal Maiden accordingly, but
Very well could be, for all we know. Most likely, they are going to pick up Core as their 5th hero.
10 seconds remaining.
I still like Bat Rider.
I do too.
5 seconds remaining.
And then I think Bat Rider CK would make this game interesting.
Reserve time.
But I think something along the lines of a Magnus Sven is a lot more likely.
Problem I see is the Magnus isn't going to do much for the Wombo synergy if it's not nearly as good as Radiance and Shadow Fiend.
Radiant team pick.
Phoenix?
Okay.
Ooh.
This is quite the interesting drafts.
I am all over the place.
We are going to find out. It will be the Invoker safe lane. Looks like these teams have scouted out each other better than we have. But I think Radiant's team, it does not scale. One thing to note is it does not scale as well as Dire's team. So if Dire team can hold on and manage to survive the early game, they can have a chance at the mid game and the late game. But I like the Radiant team in their lanes. I think their heroes are going to have an easier time coming online, and they have enough ability to push with the Forward Spirits, and I guess Warlock Golem as well is pretty nice for that.
10 seconds remaining.
The
How do
thing
you feel
was,
about the Shadow Fiend?
I mean, Shadow Fiend can out CS a Zeus, but with the support rotation, Zeus should have an easy kill there. Alright, we do see a pause come out from this Radiant team.
For battle.
We will be introducing the teams after that, but until then, we have a nice little break where we get to keep discussing this draft. What do you think is going to happen here? What do you think this game is going to go into?
I think Radiant Team's going to just abuse the fact that they have a lot of damage output early on, win their lanes pretty decisively. You have a Sand King, you have a Spectre, both are not very good laners. You're just going to get those early kills and just push them down before the Spectre and Shadow Fiend can ever get online.
See, Spectre has a problem with bees in real life right now. That'd be a big deal for me, right? Because I have a bit of a reaction to bees. So if there were bees in my room, I'd be missing a lot of last hits. I'd be just running around frantically like, damn, there's bees. I don't want to die.
See, living here at Georgia Tech, you have to learn to accept bees as part of your life.
That's why I can't really live down south, and it's quite unfortunate. Up here, the bees die occasionally.
That's like a sin to kill bees here.
Like, they don't die, the winter kills them. They die because of the snow. Cold. Alright, so it looks like the game will be starting now. On this Radiant team, we have Super Sexy on the support Warlock. We have Sir Dong on the support Phoenix. We have Taro Mochi on the mid Zeus. Bad Mama Jamma on the offlane Void. And Composition on the safe lane Invoker. On this Dire team, we got Gold on the support Dazzle. We got Cock on the mid Shadow Fiend. We have the number 12 on safe lane Spectre. Ubin on the offlane Sand King, and Lulu standing on this support Vengeful Spirits. One thing to note actually is the Radiant team has a particular lack of stuns that we didn't mention.
That is very true.
You have some stuns, but they're on very long cooldowns because there's spells like Chaotic Offering, Supernova, Chronosphere. These aren't things you just draw out willy-nilly usually. Yeah.
One thing to note is they do not have the attack speed on Dire to really take down the Phoenix Supernova, though.
We can just hit it. They have a lot of ranged hits. I'm sure it won't be enough, but they can try. Runes will be exchanged, one for each mid laner. Testing indeed. I already actually see Shadow Fiend starting with more right click damage than the Zeus. Got a 20 on the SF, 50 on the SF, 49 on the Zeus. 30 would be quite low actually. It looks like most of this action will be happening mid lane, except for when either of the offlaners happen to overextend and gets swiftly punished.
Ooh, that was a really good ward placement by Faceless Void top, just barely.
Oh yeah,
out of the
just barely
range.
avoids. You can see this tiny little gap here. Little things in Dota, you know. That's how you win sometimes. We see Zeus. Not particularly rushing bottle. It's kind of it's not a build where it's like two branches into bottle, or it's not like it's an old house, but it's kind of in the middle where you have some things to last it with, but it's still overall a fairly fast bottle pickup from him. Very interesting. Let's see how it pays off.
You don't need to rush the bottle against Shadow Fiend. He's not going to pressure you too much, and you can actually contest his base damage pretty early on, Zeus.
The question is, when does Shadow Fiend buy a stick? Because buying a stick is quite essential to winning this SF Zeus lane.
I think he should have already bought one. Maybe he didn't expect Composition to be taking the safe lane Invoker.
Void is playing aggressively. They actually tried to kill Dazzle with Sunstrike, but This voice should be fine. There is no Venge Stone available.
They might be able to get him
Poison
here.
Touch. He's fine.
Fine.
It's close though. It's close. Does keep him out of lane for a little while. He doesn't really have a salve to immediately get back to full HP from that one.
If that was the Spectre, I'd probably pick up Orb of Venom. They're gonna exchange a lot of little hits with Faceless Void. Ooh, they should be able to get him here. No.
Not enough damage. Time Walk's pretty good ability, actually.
Time Walk's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm a fan of the skill personally, but a lot of people wish it was its old skill.
Yeah, new Time Walk is great. You're playing against it.
Also obnoxious against people like Sand King, who, for some reason, have a 2.17 second stun.
Well, you can't be able to dodge everything, can you, Michael?
I mean, you gotta give him something, right?
We compare offlaners, actually. Sand King is level 2 versus Void's 3.5. We're seeing a pretty major level disparity here.
It's to be expected. They first picked the Sand King offlane, and Radiant Team saw that and picked 3 ranged heroes. Nothing they can really do about that.
Yeah, they're just keeping up the pulls. They're keeping their economy up in their supports. Like, if we compare support levels, Phoenix and Warlock, they're a solid level 2. Compared to Dazzle and Venge, well, they're also level 2, but they have less experience. Void's still taking damage, but... Oh, are they only tanking bottom? Right, they are, but they have no stuns. That is one of the downfalls of a Phoenix Warlock support duo, is you have no stuns. You don't really have any slows either, so it's pretty hard to catch an offlaner.
Yeah,
You
but
just need to
thankfully,
right-click them.
Sand King doesn't have much for escape mechanisms if you just have any sort of detection.
They should be hitting the siege unit. Yeah, there we go. Phoenix caught onto it. They're hitting the siege unit in the range units, and they're causing the Sand King a lot of okay. They're causing him some damage.
That's
a
a
lot's
fair
not the right word.
No, it's,
But it's a fair bit of damage, yeah.
It's essentially free damage. This Sand King should just about get rid of it. Just give up on this lane and probably head to the jungle pretty soon.
He doesn't have an Iron Talon, but it is still a possibility.
Is under attack.
We see SF actually, he brings out a salve, and he actually missed the boots in his courier, but he doesn't even go for the immediate stick here. Maybe he's not scared of the Zeus spam, actually. There's a chance he's not.
There's a difference between just being scared of it and picking up an item when it's so useful. It lets you play aggressively, defensively. Looks like they're just gonna use this invisibility rune to poke at him.
There is an Invis Warlock. Might help out the Zeus here, but it is 3v2. They're right-clicking him down. There is the minus armor. Is there no
Warlock
longer
should be
range
able to
race
keep him
available?
alive.
The mid-range would have been in range, but was not casted. Looking at the CS board, Radiant Team overall ahead. The safe lane farmers 24 for 10 on the Invoker versus only 16 last hits for Spectre. Zeus only ahead by, okay, they're tied now in last hits, but it is overall right for Zeus. Offlaners Void by far out farming here.
Looks like Dire Team supports are gonna smoke and wrap around. Try
They
to
are
get this
smoked up.
Zeus.
They have the Venge Stone available. Zeus is playing back though.
No, I don't think Zeus is aware of this. He's going in.
He doesn't appear to be aware, but he's in the right spot anyways if he's not. It does expire. They are going. The Venge Stone is used. They have no mana for wave though, but it should still be enough. Yeah, there's the raise. There's the right clicks, and First Blood will be claimed by the Vengeful Spirits. Phoenix is here, but he will not have enough damage to get a counter kill. Looks like the Invoker is going to go for a first item Midas. Pretty typical, but it is happening regardless. Quite good accelerating levels, which is pretty big. You want to get your Aghanims and your Midas, so you can get to that big, deafening blast that goes in all the directions rather than just one of the directions. One of the big things that has brought Invoker back into favor.
Radiant's middle tower
Looking at
is under
offlaners again, Sand King now level 5. He is recovering a good bit. Compared to Void, who's also 5, but he was further ahead than he is at this current point. Supports for both teams. Radiant supports are level 4. Dire, one just hit level 4 and one is level 3. So there's a slight experience lead for the Radiant supports. Sunstrike is thrown out middle. Yeah. Damage will be reduced as a result of it hitting 2 creeps on top of the SF.
Faceless Void just hit level 6 with the Smoke of the Sea on him. Probably gonna try to pick up a kill.
If they can get the SF middle, that'd be really huge, actually.
They're gonna wait for the Sunstrike cooldown.
The supports are rotating, though. They're ready for this.
They're gonna run into the Faceless Void.
Have the smoke? I don't think either team really wants to fight this, though. Like, he'll lose time walk here, right? Wow, he didn't. Torno is using the SF and only the SF. They will bring him down, I believe. But the Void goes down first. Was it 1-1 so far? Venge dropping low. She is under multiple damage over time abilities and fatal bonds. Phoenix has disconnected from the game.
No abilities are off cooldown, no mana. They're gonna get away pretty easily.
They have Grave as well, just in case it does drop too low.
Seems we have a lag on both sides. Be a pause.
I'm not getting lag on my end. The servers are being nice over here. What about you get? What about you over there?
Good, 32 ping, so we're on US West.
Is the game on West? I have 18 ping. No way it's on West.
32 ping's pretty high for me. East, so who knows?
I mean, I got 18 ping. I guarantee you I do not get 18 ping. The Western servers, I got like 100 ping, at least.
Get that much on Europe servers.
You have that university internet, though. I'm stuck with consumer-grade internets.
Yeah, being able to download at 50 megs a second is pretty good.
Yeah, I have a friend from Kansas City, Missouri. He has Google Fiber. He is almost faster than you, I guarantee it. And that makes me feel good right now.
Makes you feel good that some random person downloads faster than me?
He's not just a random person, he's my random person, Michael.
Takes so much pride in his inner. One day we'll get it.
Maybe one day, yeah.
We have one to reconnect.
Void is back. We are still missing the Phoenix. We're actually going to switch over from the last hits to the net worth at this point. Usually you switch it closer to 10 minutes, but it's on the mind right now.
It's about to be expected. I'm actually surprised how much farm the Sand King has. That death on Void set him back quite a bit. There goes his advantage that he had in that offlane on Sand King.
He is only up by 40 gold, but the advantage should be expected by the Void, if anything.
Especially since he went into the jungle for a bit. I was able to get those last hits.
Alright, they have reconnected on the Phoenix. The game will be resuming. We're not resuming.
I think Gator's still waiting as well. They were having some issues.
We will be resuming into the end of a team fight. There is one kill for both teams, and it looks like there will not be follow-up kills by either team.
Seems that Spectre still is just gonna go the standard Radiance rush.
She has 1,700 gold. I'd be very, 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 very surprised if she doesn't go for a Radiance, because if she was going for anything smaller, she'd probably buy some kind of build-up.
Yeah.
It's usually standard to buy something transitionary, like a poor man shield, or phase boots, or a wand, or I don't know. even an Urn's pretty good, but he's just sitting on gold right now. He's a pretty farm Spectre.
I think she can get away with it. Void left the off lane a little early to go to the hard camp, and Spectre just got that free farm.
Like, Radiant not punishing the Spectre like this is going to hurt them in the long run. Like, their odds of winning the game with a Radiant Spectre that early is going to hurt them.
They have such
just drops
squishy
so much.
heroes. Their whole team is pretty squishy. Faceless Void's like very squishy hero if you don't have like a burst. Sustained damage, you can just not time walk it away.
I mean, their team should be stronger. Their team should be stronger right now, and they need to utilize that. And they seem to be failing to capitalize. They're making attempts with the Void Chrono, but they have not got what they need out of it.
The question is, do you think Sand King's going to pick the Epicenter level 6 and they're going to try to go more active? Or do you think they're going to try to play reactively, fight around like their cooldowns on the enemy team?
I think he will, because he went for the 3rd level in Burrow Strike over the 3rd level in Caustic. If you wanted to play defensively farming out, he probably would just be maxing the Caustic over the Burrow Strike here. I remember when people skilled Sandstorm.
I think he still probably should have got a point in it.
It's not that useful in the lane, though, is the problem. Like, sure, you can maybe dodge some. There's no like projectile to dodge. Like, if I were playing Sand King offlane for the Radiant, I would go Sandstorm, because you could dodge the Venge Missile, and that's a big deal in the lane. You could dodge the Poison Touch, that's a big deal in the lane. But there's no equivalent for this Radiant
You can
team. They don't have
sword dodge the Fire Spirits, and being able to dodge your way up
you can still be hit by them, though. Like, you can not be seen, but you'll still get damaged by it, you know?
Yeah, being able to dodge a proc of Cold Snap or 2 could be very useful. So that's their only stun in that lane, and that's the only way you're dying, is if you just get Cold Snapped out.
I mean, there was a time when Sandstorm was a good ability. That's a good time.
What did they exactly do to it? Change its damage, and so it lasts 50 seconds.
They rescaled it, and it hurt the ability, apparently.
Oh, that's not
So we are
good
back.
for the Radiant.
We are in a
Didn't
bit
go
of
for
a
the ultimate
lull.
at level 6.
Shadowfiend did die, so he will be short the souls. He does want some souls, and does not really
He did,
right now.
however, get the kill, so he managed to max out his, or at least almost max out his souls before dying.
I think he was already maxed before that, though. I'd be very surprised if he wasn't. Top lane, Radiant, they are posturing for some aggression. They do have 3 heroes. They do have a lack of a Chronosphere, but they are still the numbers advantage. Dazzle around the mid lane rather than being at the top lane.
I don't think they'll be able to get it. Spectre can just haunt to bot lane. Invoker's not. Ooh, speaking of bot lane, there's a haste rune on Shadowfiend going in on this Invoker.
He has 1 level in Lex, but he doesn't have the Invoke ready. He should be dead here. Using the Epicenter as well, secure it.
Be secured.
They have a Supernova here, so it's not like they can go for a Hail Mary play here.
Spectre haunt might come in, finish off the. Ooh,
wow,
one last hit.
Surprised it's not gonna happen like that. They went for this rotation. They still wanted to fight it, but they wanted to fight after the Invoker died, so it became quite difficult to take that fight.
I'm not sure if you can take those fights pre-level 6 as Phoenix.
It's a little hard.
Definitely sets back Invoker's Midas, and
He was
a lot of
very
space
close.
for the- Really was, and now that just buys more space for Spectre to rush this Radiance.
Spectre has 2,500 gold now. He's getting there pretty rapidly. Oh, the Relic in just like 3 minutes.
They need to capitalize on that. 0 reliable gold on the Spectre. A lot of that will be lost to a death.
I mean, they're running at the Sand King bottom, but they still have no stuns. I don't know. This game, it's kind of slowed down a bit, but Pulling down is fine if you're Dire. You have the better late game. You have the Spectre. It seems very good for them. Zeus will have ultimate again in 5 seconds. So you could perhaps make an attempt onto the Shadow Fiend right now, actually. Actually, there's not enough mana for everything he needs.
Faceless Void makes his way mid. A Sunstrike Chrono, Thunder God's Wrath. That's just a dead sound. Shadow Fiend. They should definitely try to go for it before Venge starts hitting 6 and can actually swap people out of these skills.
Yeah, they're going for it now. They have the Sunstrike available. They're not asking it. They missed.
Ooh, the Sunstrike missed. Backtrack's gonna be able to keep him alive. Golem's used. On's up.
Look at both kills, yeah. Little sloppier than I'm sure the rating would have hoped, but they still got the 2 kills. And they still should convert this into a mid-tower push. See the Midas
should be
now
able to
finished
take it.
on the Radiance Invoker. Looking over Spectre. 3,100 gold.
She's getting there. Once she gets that Sacred Relic, you can't punish her nearly as much as you could just a minute before that. Suddenly your game becomes a lot more difficult to win. Looks like they are going to try to defend mid.
They're haunting.
Haunted
Oh, no.
in.
I don't know why she did that.
Don't
She can
either.
clean up the Golem, it'll be nice, but get the Golem
Okay.
gold, actually. That's the
That's
bounty
worth
rune,
it.
that's 3,400 if she goes for the bounty rune. But she will not, the bounty will just stay here.
Oh,
Go
looks
to
like
the
Warlock
Warlock
gets it.
instead.
That's the happy Warlock.
Oh, it is, yeah. They should have spotted the Dazzle warding there, like, the Radiant Vision have this area here warded. So they know Dazzle walked up right here, and warded right there.
The Radiant should
So
really
they
do something
should
about
be
that.
aware of this.
Zeus should definitely be aware.
Dire's
Makes
bottom
the
tower is under
position over there. Because there's been a ward here and like here the entire game. And Zeus should have realized that they were able to have vision of this area and they were making rotations. One thing to know, Zeus has not been using his W to de-ward properly.
You have this ward as well. It's been here for a very long time. But they haven't really been given nice intel, but there's not really the obvious signs of it being there, so it's a bit hard to
Yeah.
de-ward. That said, it is a pretty common war spot. There is an Invis Avenge now mid lane. So I don't foresee them really capitalizing. Maybe at the Warlock. They have no swap. They're gonna have to die this pretty hard.
By the gods,
They see the Phoenix, the Spectre. Ooh, Spectre now has enough for Sacred Relic. She's about to buy it.
Yeah, this game.
Maybe
We are
unless
in
Zeus
an
can,
interview stage
unless
for
Zeus
this
can kill her
game.
right before she buys it.
And
Barely missed by both the Void and the Zeus. That would
They
have
have
been
the
a
Rock
huge
Mercury.
kill for them. They did find the ward. It's unfortunate that they had to use a sentry, though.
apparently your mic is being clipped by something. I'm not
Is
sure
it?
if that's on my end or on your ends, but my insider watching this cast is informing me about this.
It's clipping. What do you mean by that? Like just picking up fully.
Yeah, I assume that's what he means.
Yeah, that's probably I moved it a little farther away so I could drink water safely.
Tower is doing its best, but it doesn't look.
I am a big fan of water. It's good stuff. If you see Radiant team going on the Shadow Fiend mid lane, they do have the Supernova available. They will not expend it. SF, however, does drop down to 200 HP after the Fatal Bonds. Sorry, Shadow Word. I think I got the kill the Supernova, definitely.
Only a matter of time.
While Void is running away from the Dire team, they have slowed him up with the Spectral Dagger.
Dire's middle tower is under.
Spectre does have the Relic, so there is a lot of damage to work with, but
Dire's structures.
they have no need to chase. So Radiant team do have 3 heroes in the top lane, 2 in the mid lane. They are pushing this mid tower, but the SF does TP and he does have the Requiem and Now has full souls as well to work with, but the problem is
That
he's
should be a
very
kill
low.
on the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, Zeus ulti is there. Down goes the Shadow Fiend. Sand King at half
Down.
HP.
Ooh, onto the Spectre.
She should die as well here. To the Phoenix. Phoenix didn't go for the kill on the Spectre there.
It was for the best.
Hopefully, but
Dazzle rotated in, had the Shallow Grave. If he had gone in, they most likely would have turned and killed him. So, whether he knew it or not, it was good for him that he didn't go in.
so that's a very good engagement for the Radiant. We talked about how they weren't doing enough. They now have 4 unanswered kills. The kill score was 1-4. Now it is 5-4. They are getting kills across the map, and they're killing Shadow Fiends. Even though Spectre is your key kill, your next best kill is definitely the Shadow Fiend.
Timber.
Back on the souls. You make them have to get more souls to have effectiveness.
Ooh, this should be a
Meanwhile,
dead Spectre.
Zeus has the vision. Does sound like misses. If you'll get the bolt, actually, it's the AoE of it. Yeah, there we go.
Ooh, that's a good
That
bolt.
is a big kill, and he won't even die here for it. That's a very, very big kill by Zeus. Heads up play from Uramochi. Aether Lens. I'll make that job a lot easier next time.
Yeah, you won't have to stagger step trying to hope to get that little cliff vision. Radiant gearing up with the Chronosphere and the Rock to be able to kill here.
Dire team actually think there's a ward up there after that kill up here. But it happened to be the unfortunate
Base.
Invis rune.
This one also saw it though, but they just don't
Yeah, that one
expect
as
it
well.
there.
It is less common. See, Radiant has decent coverage with one here and one here. They did get the D ward actually here, so they have a big distance supremacy there. The burrow's available. They do burrow up the void. He should time block after the bench stun ends. No Chronosphere. It's on 3. He will still die, but down goes the bench and the Sand King. Dazzle will drop as low. That is a 3-for-1. Supernova comes out. Spectre running away. Still no Radiance. Sitting on the Relic. And they will not be able to dive her, but they will instead go once again after the Shadow Fiends. They have 2 heroes. They may be short damage, but he is going to be very close to dying, if not dead here to the DO team. He will die. Another 4 kills to the Radiant. They are online. Their teamfight combos are coming together, and they are capitalizing. Talking about how it's easier to do it before Spectre has the Relic, but they don't care. They're going fight even though Spectre has Relic.
They're forcing Spectre to just not be able to farm, making it so she has to react, and getting that 1350 Radiance recipe is just not going to be easy for her now. They've lost all of their T1s, and Radiance
Like,
just
you just
looking
need to
push on
farm.
that.
Like, you need to still farm with the Spectre. You should just realize your impact is very low without the Radiance, especially if you commit this Relic. Problem is, they're once again, they have heroes just over here in the jungle. Now they're away from there. If you the Dire vision, the problem is Dire doesn't see any of where the Radiant is right now. So they don't know. Maybe Spectre's like, oh, there's heroes waiting here in this jungle to go after me. They can go on to me. They don't know where they are. They happen to be pretty split right now, but if you're Spectre, she's scared. Good reasons, actually. That's the way you should be reacting there. Unless you can get your supports to rotate, like the Dazzle to rotate top and protect your farm. You need to be not dying there. Van's going for a Medallion. I'm not sure if it's the best, but it's the build she is going for. Has a lot of synergy with the other minus armor on her team. There's the Weave, the Wave, the Shadow Fiend presence, and now the Medallion. It's a lot of minus armor. Does enable a Roshan.
I don't know if it was necessary.
I don't think it was either.
The diminishing value of negative armor definitely starts kicking in on a team with 3 spells of negative armor. On a team that doesn't pick up much armor on Radiant side.
I can see the Phoenix actually went for a Buckler. If he didn't, he probably would have gone for like a Shiva's eventually. That's armor.
Yeah, but then you look at the Zeus sitting at 4, Warlock 3, and then Poker 5.
Yeah, it's not much armor.
Could have gone for a Glimmer Cape. Would be really useful to try to stay away from, or even like completely nullify the Zeus ult's damage. I think I would have liked to see that more.
Yeah, me too. I mean, if Glimmer Cape still gave magic resistance, that'd be the best possible item. You guys get this passive magic resistance out of Glimmer Cape. Nice. It still has that. What are they?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I'm thinking of Aether Lens. Whoops. Passive Aether Lens.
Yeah, me
I messed up
confused.
my
I was like
items.
looking at it. I'm like, does it not?
Like I was thinking about it, right? I was thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute, I said the wrong item, didn't I? But we do
Yeah,
see an
I
engagement
was
here now.
I was
Be
real scared. I was
exciting
like,
again.
to say it's built from a cloak. That would be pretty strange.
Yeah, I was thinking of Aether Lens back when it was built from the cloak.
That item was too good for its own good. Like,
That item was too good for anyone's good.
yeah.
Had no mana. Actually, it was just the combination of the Aether Lens, cloak, and the Glimmer Cape with no mana cost. What a time that was.
Those items were just so good. They still are, but
We see bolts coming out
realize they
from
need
the Zeus, looking at
All
the
5
wards. Won't find, but they will hit this tower. They will kill it. Fire team not in a position to
ooh,
defend. The
Chronosphere on 3.
Sunstrike will finish off the Venge. Sand King will die as well for the Zeus ultimate, and they blow up the Dazzle with the Celebration Meteor on top. That is 3 dead. Spectre now has a Radiance and 3/2/2 gold on top of it. They are now at risk of losing their high grounds. Good thing is they do have all of their tools, though. They do buy like the Sand King, they do have the Epicenter, they will have the Requiem, they will have the Haunt. They have the tools they need to defend if they want to.
Dire team's just really not respecting. Ooh,
Snake is dead.
that was over aggressive to be blinking into 5 of them. Shadowfiend's gonna die too.
Shadowfiend's dead? No.
They're really not respecting these big cooldown ults on Radiant's side.
So they have 3 heroes, but it's still a very hard thing to do. Like you kill Invoker, but you should still be losing this fight because you lose the Dazzle. Vector's dropping very low. And that's his Venge actually. They're both gonna die.
It's gonna be a full team right there.
They have 2 buybacks, but not really on any of the heroes that matter. That's the set of barracks right there. Even though you have the 0 tower damage and your Warlock's not even rank breaking. But still, you have time. You have time to push.
Tricks again.
They really underestimated the Fatal Bonds. Zeus waited to use his ulti after they were all affected by Fatal Bonds, and it was just such an easy team wipe for them.
They still have a Sand King with Burrow Strike, but no Epicenter makes it pretty rough. No Epi, no Blink.
No Epicenter, no Sandstorm. He'll just
He's
die
dead.
if he goes in.
He's actually dead.
The Shallow Grave should keep him alive.
Grave, good grave. That's what they needed. They still lost not only the melee barracks, but also the full set of barracks. That's very unfortunate, because you're like, alright, we have Radiance, we can start doing things, and then they started to do things, and they got pushed to the curb stomped. They're just so sad after that one, but they're not dead yet. They still have a chance, even though Void has a blink, and this Invoker has 4,000 gold that he's sitting on. That's going to be a full Aghanim Scepter for him. You know they have those items. There still is a chance, because you have the better late game.
They do have the better late game. Do they have the better late game though? They have the Spectre, which no doubt scales better than any other hero on this team. But then they have the Dazzle and the Sand King. Those heroes, they don't do much with farm or even late game.
Scale pretty well. I mean, Dazzle in particular, you can get a lot of value with Weave. Very good scaling ability.
Does it scale better?
Jags going.
Does it scale any better than Fatal Bonds and Supernova and
that's
like
it.
Sunray?
Radiant support certainly scale better, but I think the Dire cores just scale that much better. You compare Zeus Invoker to Shadow Fiend Spectre, those heroes, they scale far better life spikes than any of the heroes on Radiant do. Like Invoker can scale pretty well, but not much more than really Shadow Fiend can. The Spectre can certainly scale better than the Zeus can. That's not even a question. Looking at the Radiant Vision, they do have no idea where most of the Dire team is. Well, Dire team is very aware of this rotation through the Dire jungle.
I'd like Zeus to just start spamming his W.
He is doing it actually. He's doing it. He's checking, but he's
not seeing that.
It's like he going for like the more common spots rather than the lesser spots. Which this is good awareness with the way you warded. If you're any of the Dire supports, you're warding where you're not going to get de-warded by Zeus.
Middle tower now belongs to
You may still try to turn in Bolt, but hey, that hit a creeper, no. Sunstrike middle.
No.
Instead of the scouting Sunstrike then.
I mean, why not? He has Ags. They're ahead. He has mana.
I mean, they do pick up one T2 middle, and they will pick up a second T2 top. Will be the last T2. it'll be just some more structural damage to add on to the nice little jewel of their crown, which is the bottom barracks being taken.
Dire's top tower has
Looking
fallen
over
in battle.
Spectre, she still has no items to stop her Radiance. She has a Radiance, Ace Boots, and 1200 gold. There's nothing you can really buy to
Maybe
join
pick up some of the Vanguard.
Maybe you get like part of a Yasha, part of the fuse, like a Blade of Alacrity maybe. I don't even know what, like there's no item that's going to be, at least no item at 1300 gold is going to win you the fight. That's the problem.
I think she has to go some for Vanguard. The damage block's not useful, but just getting some raw HP.
I think
Can't
you just get
afford to
if you just get Hood here, I think it's very valuable.
You think so?
The entire team's magic damage, and Dispersion has a lot of value with it, but
Very true.
it's a little bit too late. You can go for it, but you're already running into many problems on Spectre.
I would have liked to see some raindrops or any sort of cloaks come out on Dire's
Yeah, raindrops would have been nice for any of these heroes, and none of them got raindrops. Did you see like a partial BKB on this SF, but that costs way more than 225 gold.
Just being able to stop a single lightning bolt or Thunder God's Wrath. Difference between your team dying too, with Fatal Bonds, and maybe you could just live 1 second longer to cast that Grave. Really good item.
Dire sees the Void. He's kind of like hiding on the sides, but they see him. Because, I mean, it obviously is a big threat, this whole Blink Chronosphere thing, but they are pretty close together, actually. Obviously, that circle's a little bit large, but still. Me and Radiant Team, they're fine with pushing in the waves the way they are. They're
It's 20k gold net worth.
Oh my, that's
Ooh,
quite the lead. They do spot the Void,
They know he's
but
there too.
he has Blink, he'll be fine. His Time Lock ready as well. The thing is, the base positioning, like, you don't want to be anywhere close to the Void, like this sort of radius, at least. He's just slowly getting further in today. Because he is doing that, but, like, you're the Dire team, like, oh, where the hell are they? I'm scared now. I don't want to die to this Blink Chronosphere, so you want to back up a little bit. You want to go further down, away from this tree area. Is that Venge Wave? They didn't
I don't know
spot
if it
the-
scouted.
they missed.
I don't think
They
it
missed,
did.
Yeah. Barely missed, too. It's
That might
a
give
little
them some
unfortunate.
false confidence too.
Oh.
Ooh, the Chrono.
Only hit
Lost
one. Only a Spectre. Top does come out as well, and the Grave, actually. But out comes the Thunder God's Wrath, out comes the Haunt, the Chaotic Offering comes in, only Venge to die so far, but down goes the Dazzle. The Dire team, they are crumbling. Their second set of barracks, it is being
We didn't make-
damaged.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Warlock does have an Aghanim Scepter, so this is just going to be a very fast push for them. Their team lacks a lot of damage outside the Invoker, but these
That's what
Warlock
happens
goals are going to do a lot of
when you
work.
lose a set of barracks, is the support team get a lot of gold.
Tower has fallen.
It's quite unfortunate for them, because they don't really have the tools. I mean, go for an Epicenter Burrow, that's literally their only play to deal. Like, you
I
just
don't
chain
even know
that
if
to a
that's
Reckoning.
enough.
It's not enough to
That's
stop, but it's an attempt.
Hype on a Phoenix.
Yeah. Invoker dies, actually. He overextended instead of hitting the barracks, but the barracks will still fall, I assume.
Faceless
Even though the
Void
Invoker
too.
and the Void do
Ooh.
die. And they do, importantly, the Sunstrike
Sunstrike
gets
on.
the Sand King. The barracks are not dead, actually.
Managed to defend
the
this.
Warlock. They're gonna kill Supernova as well. Big throw from this Radiant team. That's oof. They bought back the Invoker as well. They even bought him back, and they still didn't win the fights. Like, I don't even want to see the gold swing. This is gonna be like 7,000. Yeah, it's the 7,800 gold swing. Usually, I don't talk about gold swings in my cast because I don't think they're indicative of game state. I think this is a good representation of it. I think this shows how much gold they lost. They still do what? Have like a 12,000 gold lead, but it doesn't matter if it's 12,000 gold lead. Your Dire team, you have this moral grounds now. Like, yeah, we did it. We held. We can do this. Even though we had a skeleton crew to defend the base, we defended the high grounds. Then I'm going to have a lot more of a will to win, and having a positive mental attitude is a very big thing winning this game.
And everything
see-
went right for them too. They used their skills mostly right. The Chrono on one was a little bit unfortunate, and then the swap, but they still got two, and then they lost from there. They overextended, and they really didn't know if they wanted to go for the tower or go for kills, and they walked away with neither.
You see a diffusal blade up on the Spectre now. Pretty good at killing people. This team is squishy, as we have mentioned. The effective mana burn as damage will hurt these supports a lot. I think once you have this third item in Spectre as well, I don't even think it really matters what she goes for, because no matter what this third item is going to be, it is going to be the power spike, where you actually can be a real mess and really kill these supports quite rapidly, even though they have things like a pipe and things like an Aghanim Scepter and a mech. It still will be very hard for them to deal with the Spectre at that point.
The BKB is also completed on the Shadow Fiend, so that's going to help a lot for this next fight.
Absolutely. Dazzle's close to a mech. 600 off. If they win the next fight, he will have it. But now we once again get back to the Radiance and their Deus Vult style siege. They're running people into the buildings. They have the Force Spirits, they have the Chaotic Offering, and they have the Chronosphere. Everything they need to fight is available, and they are chipping away at these melee barracks. Yeah. The Epicenter does come out. It has the blink. It will be on 2. The barracks do fall. Tornado comes out, but down goes the Sand King. Meteor comes out. Warlock will die. Dazzle will die. SF is man fighting. Will kill the Zeus. Invoker is dropping to the minus armor. Does Ghostwalk. Will survive. Oh, the Requiem got back. He can't Requiem. So the Shadow Fiend is dead. Spectre is going to die in this fight. It is very good for the Radiant team. They don't manage to finish up the Spectre, but they should be able to finish up. Oh, they kill him! The bash!
First bash!
SF will buy back. He only has the half souls. Not in the best condition to fight, and the barracks will fall. Buy back to the Spectre. She has no haunt. Tornado comes out, will hit the Shadow Fiend, enable retreat with no further casualties. That's 2 important core buybacks from the Dire team, and they do not hold the barracks. They are crumbling.
Radiance.
Hard.
Even though they lost a lot of heroes in that fight. Invoker just immediately was forced out of that fight. They should definitely be happy with that.
Invoker got very low, but he didn't die, and that's what mattered there. Where he was able to use the Quath regen to get back into the fight for the later portions and get the tornadoes off and secure the retreat for them.
More importantly, is Radiant team got jumped on. They didn't use their skills efficiently. The Chronosphere didn't hit everyone that they wanted it to, and they still end up winning that fight.
Mm-hmm.
That just means that they know that they can just push this advantage. Kind of gear up, grab Roche, go mid.
Yeah, they actually they freed up a slot on the Faceless Void as well. They're getting ready for that Roche.
KB used on Shadow Fiend top.
Huh.
It was found Invoker in the jungle.
I guess he was really scared of the Invoker then, wow. I don't think it's worth it.
I don't either.
I guess they won't be immediately fighting with the way the Radiant team is positioned, but I think those BKB charges is going to hurt you.
Especially in a game with just so much magic damage coming out.
Yeah, the Zeus is quite the magic damage core.
Ooh, they can see the Spectre.
It's gonna be a tie for killer, and they will!
Ooh, that is huge. I think they're just gonna ignore the Roche and just go straight mid.
Definitely. Go BKB SF. Go Spectre for 70 seconds. It's the perfect opportunity. Like, no, why are you going?
Looks like they just want to play it safe.
No.
I don't like this decision.
Neither do I, to be honest.
They saw the 2 buybacks. They see that the BKB is on cooldown for even if just 15 more seconds. 6 now.
I mean, it still will end up working for them. They will get this. They will get this Roshan fairly safely, but as a result, they will be fighting a full 5v5 fight. The Spectre respawning in just 30 seconds, and this Roshan being quite slow, actually.
So do you give it to the Void or the Invoker? Because Void doesn't do much with it, but
you don't have the slots in anybody but the Void.
That's the only problem. Invoker needs to be the one carrying it, but he doesn't have the slots.
Well, he dropped the stick, He dropped his stick, got the Aegis.
Ooh, but he has a BKB on the way. What does he drop for that? Maybe just sell the Midas now? Use it one last time?
Just put the Courier behind, and then when you die, you put the BKB on your hero. That'd be the way that I'd play it, but I'm not sure if they're on that same page for that sort of aspect. They will sell the Midas, yeah. We still drop the Midas. There we go.
Alright.
So this is what could be the final defense for the Dire team. They have all 5, they have abilities, the BKB is ready. The Radiant team, they have the Aegis. They have all the tools that they want. They have the Blink Chrono, they have the Agadins, Warlock Ultimates. They're ready to roll.
What does Dire have to do here to win this next team fight and hold and maybe come back into this game?
3-man burrow, 4-man burrow sort of team fight with the IP Center, with the Requiem. And then as your SF dies casting Requiem, you cast Grave and use them die. That's how you win this. You couple that with a Haunt and it will beat up damage. But that's like, it's not best case scenario, but it's not far from best case scenario for this Dire team. If I has to go.
Not a single buyback available for Dire's team.
Yeah.
And 3 on Radiant available.
Tower will fall. That is the last T3 tower of this Dire team's base. The barracks not particularly getting damaged yet. The Radiant team's very defensively, actually, which surprises me.
Ooh, the
There's a
Chrono.
Chronosphere. It's only on the
Only on
Dazzle,
Dazzle.
though. It's still a big kill if you can get it. Let's be real, they're going to get it. Chaotic Offering does
Great
that,
off
as
time.
does the Haunt. Epicenter in the back lines, but it's only on 1. Down goes Dazzle. Supernova will live. He will be back. Sentry drops
Spectre
low.
down.
Ven drops low. They're both going to die. The Thunder God's wrath. The entire team, Shadow Fiend dies. And the Shadow Fiend
That
dies.
should be
That is a
game.
full